The year was 2000, and us PlayStation 1 WWF fans really didn't have anything that really pleased us all the way. WWF Attitude was a great, the Interest was a great step, but there was always something missing. The button combination just to hit moves was ridiculous. The game was just kind of slow and not that fun after a while. But then everything changed when we all first saw this commercial.
Shine this up real nice, jabroni.
And I know just where to stick it, Rod.
What's your name?
It doesn't matter what my name is.
The Rock smells what you're cooking.
Pancakes, Rod! Pancakes!
Lay the SmackDown in the kitchen, the loading dock, even the boiler room. Plus storylines and special guest referees. Everything inside the ring and almost anything out. WWF SmackDown. Lay it down, jabroni.
Finally, The Rock has come back to PlayStation.
That had all the PlayStation 1 gamers hype. I remember me and my older brother first saw that trailer, and we couldn't wait till we got our hands on the game. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the history of WWE games leading up to WWE 2K20, and we are starting off with the first and the original WWF SmackDown. If you was a WWF fan around this time, I'm pretty sure this game had almost every wrestler you could think of that time. I know the game was a little too late in the developmental cycle to have Kurt Angle, Eddie, Benoit, Malenko, and Perry Saturn. But other than that, you have the Dudleys, you have the Hardys, you have Anthony Christian, you have Chris Jericho, you have the Godfather, you have Farouk and Bradshaw, you have the main eventers Kane, The Rock, Undertaker, Triple H, Stone Cold. So you even have Vince, Shane, you have Tori, and I don't know how many games Tori was on, but this game had pretty much everybody you could think of from around that time. And also, a great thing about the game, I know finishers wasn't the easiest thing to pull off, but I know you hit L1, you'll hit your finisher and the SmackDown logo will show up. Just stuff like that would make this game perfect. And also, you could start the match with 5 finishers. So, hey, if you want to end your opponent real quick, bam, put them on. The entrances on this game was a little disappointing because we just came from WWF Attitude where they had they had full entrances from the ramp to the ring. On this game, it's just them walking and the Titantron is behind them. It's a little disappointing, but I don't know. I felt like honestly, you could have used the win animation for the entrances, and I felt like that would have been better if they couldn't do the full entrances. But hey, that's a minor nitpick in what I think is a very fun game. It was a huge difference coming from this and going to Attitude. Coming from Attitude to this, because this game is a lot more fast paced. It is more arcadey with this style. And I always thought was cool, The Rock being able to actually take off his elbow pad. I don't know why. Every time I did it, I got hyped. But yeah, like I was saying, the game is very fast paced, so it is kind of annoying. So like, let's say you're in an I Quit match, your opponent really don't like to stay down long enough, or let's say the mic is far away. Oh, you might as well beat your opponent up right under the mic because he's gonna get right up. The game also had backstage brawls, which was huge back in the day because you had the hardcore title and the 24/7 rules. So yes, you have more backstage stages than you have in the current games, which is ridiculous when you really think about it. But yes, you could fight in the parking lot, you could fight in the boiler room, catering, I believe, the kitchen, and the hallway leading up to the ramp. The game just gave you options on top of options on top of options. Also, speaking of match types, yes, you have the falls count anywhere. Hardcore, which is basically the same thing. You had your triple threat, your singles, fatal 4-way, Had your tag team. You had I Quit. You had cage matches. The only thing that was really missing around this time was the table, ladders, and Hell in a Cell matches, which SmackDown 2 vastly improved on. Also, this game had a season mode that could last up to 20 years. I think honestly could go on even longer than that. The only thing that I did have a problem with story mode, there was honestly not really much of a story. It was just random things happening. So let's say you are Kane, you'll load up to SmackDown and you'll see Edge and Christian talking backstage, and they'll be like, "Oh, what are Edge and Christian talking about backstage?" It had nothing to do with what you was going through. I know it was dope where you had the Dudley Boys put someone through a table cutscene. It was just really awesome. Just the things that the story mode did have. It was random, but it was really awesome. You had the special guest referee matches. This game had a lot of content. The biggest flaw I want to say this game had, honestly, was its creative superstar mode, because it wasn't really creative superstar. Let's say you wanted to create Scott Hall, Hogan, Kevin Nash, you was gonna have a hard time. But if you wanted Triple H with the tights, you could do that, because most of the heads on the game was basically preset, so you pretty much had you could have multiple versions of all the superstars. So that was, I guess, it was a little before its time because of the creation suite. Because now in 2K games you could change the tires and whatnot. Also, one of the things, it's a little nitpick. When the superstars are champions, you don't get to see the titles. But other than that, the game was pretty much everything you could ask for a first attempt in the series. I honestly feel like SmackDown 2 vastly improved on everything. It had the bigger roster. It had the better match types, and I felt like the season mode was a little bit better. I will give SmackDown one thing over SmackDown 2 is the menu music, because oh my goodness, SmackDown 2 menu music, it was bad. It didn't really bother me until you go into season mode and you have to wait for all the matches to be done one by one, and this is a little bar thing. But honestly, SmackDown 1, if you never played it, I would recommend you go on some website that has the ROMs and check it out. This is just part 1 of the complete series of all the SmackDown games and the WWE 2K games leading up to 2K20. This has been your boy Type 2 out of here. Peace.